We Shall Someday is a new musical play opening at the Alabama Shakespeare Festival this week. Joining us now is Tyler Thomas, one of the directors of the show. Tyler, it's a pleasure to have you here in studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us about the show.
So We Shall Someday is a new musical that follows the story of 3 generations of a Southern Black family, each as they encounter acts of racial injustice, and really examines each of them at a crossroads, a key moment of decision making around how they're going to move forward with courage and conviction and hope. And the play is uniquely situated between 2 large historical events in our country, one being in 1961 with the Freedom Riders who rode from Washington, D.C. down to New Orleans to challenge the segregated interstate bus system, and then jumps 30 years into the future to 1992, looking at the Rodney King verdict and the aftermath of it. And essentially what I love about that story is that while we're looking at the large historic monumental, we're also looking at the individual, the interpersonal, and the familial in a way that I think allows everyone to see themselves inside.
Why do you think it's important to bring these moments to life on stage?
Absolutely. I mean, it's so critical, I feel like, at any moment in time to be looking at our past, but also the play looks at, a 30-year span. We're now 30 years and some odd, from 1992. So I think not only is it critical for us to reflect and remember where we've come from, but also how do we take from the lessons learned from the strength of those who have come before us to propel us forward with that same conviction, that same clarity, and that same hope.
What does it mean to you to bring this story here to Montgomery, Alabama? You mentioned the Freedom Riders. We have that museum just down the street from here that tells their story, but you're going to tell the story in a different way.
Absolutely. It's such an incredible honor to be able to uplift history that I think is often not remembered or told, and to be able to do it in a way that I think contextualizes not only the moment, but the impact, the sort of ripple effect of it generations later is incredible.
What do you hope the audience takes from this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we are hoping that the piece inspires everyone to examine themselves and how they can also find their own courage, find their own clarity around their values, to participate in the world that they want to live in, the world that they want to see, and also, I think, is a communal space to reflect on how do we come together to create positive change in our communities. So, have you found yourself inspired? Completely. It's impossible not to. I mean, the narratives of the individual players who, again, together made history. It's impossible not to see yourselves through them and to also just hope that you can do the best you can to extend that legacy.
When does the show open? It's this week, right?
It is this week, this Thursday, April 24th. You can see it all the way through May 4th at ASF. And then we have a series of community events in and around Montgomery and have been working with an incredible group of local collaborators, from the Harris House to the Freedom Rides Museum to King's Canvas to New South Bookstore to Alabama Values. So we're not only excited about the events that are happening at ASF, but also to bring the conversation to the larger city.
Yeah, you're taking this story and this conversation and these lessons beyond the
That's
stage.
Exactly right.
That's unique.
That's
we
exactly
don't get that
right.
with a lot of shows.
Well, it's also really wonderful to be able to continue the conversation. You have this 90-minute experience, and then oftentimes you're like, what do I do now? Where do I go? So these events are really designed, I think, to catch the energy of that experience and to invite the city to come together to say, what positive change is needed in Montgomery now, and what role can I play inside of that?
ASF.net, you can find all that information.
Absolutely.
And get tickets. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.